Mamadou, let the people know what's going on in this AI world. I thought that was a Web3 podcast. Hold on, what's going on here?
Listen, if anything, technology is interconnected. Nothing exists really in a silo.
Mm,
Like these big themes that you see in the news are going to be all tied together. So, over the last few years, since like I would probably say around like 2017, 2018, we've been seeing Web3 tech be really big in the news from like crypto to last year being NFTs. And now the new kid on the block, quote unquote, new is artificial intelligence AI. We've been seeing these stories about ChatGPT, which is a AI technology created by OpenAI, where you're able to type in different inquiries or requests, and it's ChatGPT is able to like do these great responses where they will type out like conversations or give you answers or create content, right? And now we're seeing this in the world of Web3 because Polygon is partnering with Alethea AI to launch CharacterGPT, an AI powered NFT project that describes itself as the world's first multimodal AI system. So, what does it do, right? So, let's take a step back. OpenAI AI, they're known for ChatGPT, and then know for DALI, DALI being an image generator. So you may type in something like, show me Elon Musk working at McDonald's. And DALI could, create this art image, in which it does it within a few seconds. Polygon is launched in Character GPT, which is really the next level. What it does is a user like you and I can type in text and it creates a responsive character with who has a unique personality, identity, trait, voice, and body. So you can type in something like create for me a barista at a coffee company. And what Character GPT would do is create this character. They'll create this image of a barista, based upon the description that you put in, who's able to communicate and interact with you. And the step in which the Web3 component comes into play with Polygon's partnership is you can then mint that character into an NFT on their platform called mycharacter.ai. And so very, very fascinating stuff in which we're seeing this combination of AI technology and Web3 technology coming into one to create new solutions. And I want to end off with some quotes from Sandeep Naliwal, who is the co-founder of Polygon, where he has said that generative AI is advancing at a rapid rate and it has the potential to profoundly impact our lives in coming years. I have seen firsthand how Alethea AI has developed this technology over the last few years through their Character GPT AI engine, and where users would be able to create interactive characters in a matter of seconds. So super powerful stuff. And really the big takeaways for all of us is this technology is revolutionary, but it can also be scary if you're, not aware and you don't know how to utilize it, right? Because essentially you're able to like create digital people who could interact through a sophisticated AI powered manner, right? So the opportunities are endless for those who may have a digital component to your store, like an e-commerce store or what have you. In theory, you could use this character GPT tool to create an interactive digital persona, like somebody who may seem like a real person that you're speaking with, right? Like if somebody has a video call, what have you, but instead it's this AI powered character that's able to handle many inquiries and give you more time to do other things within your venture, right? It's
mm.
super powerful. There's so many possibilities. And what's really cool is the NFT portion, right? Because remember, these NFTs really just serve as digital certificates of ownership. And one big, I won't call it critique, but one big caution, if you will, with like these AI platforms like a Chat GPT or whatever AI generative program out there, is this idea of ownership, right? Like you may be able to create these solutions, whatever it's like copyright or art or interactive characters, but you know, depending on what the terms of use may say, you may not have the ability to license it, right? So it's very interesting to see this Polygon component, because if you're able to create this AI powered person with character GPT and then mint them as an NFT, in theory, you own it. So you can
Mm,
do whatever you want with this character, whether
mm.
it's maybe making a parody account if you're a content creator on like YouTube or have you, or any other sketch comedy show, or whatever it's creating an employee within your venture. There's so many possibilities here.
Yeah.
And what I encourage you all, the viewer, to do is get over the heebie jeebies, right? Because it is kind of like, oh, snap, this is crazy. But we got to understand like this technology is here to stay. AI has been worked on for many, many, many years, and
Mm,
now it's getting to the point like once it hits the media cycle, and it's starting to become like a normal everyday occurrence. That's when you know the tech has finally got to a point where it's here to stay. So let's use this as an opportunity to find different solutions that we can utilize for our own respective lives. And that's what I gotta say. Character GPT, like
that's
it's
heavy.
the new kid on the block.
That's heavy. That's heavy. That's fire. That's fire. I mean, a couple things come to mind with that, right? We had an episode on the metaverse,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just thinking about people who, may start metaverse shops and things like that. And you're thinking about your customer service in your metaverse shop, who's gonna be in there. You can just create people through character
Mm-hmm.
GPT that gives real experiences to the people, your patrons, right? People that patronize your shop in the metaverse. Or
Yeah.
I'll even take it a step further, because I forget when this was, but I was looking a lot into augmented reality. I believe it was in college. Or I had a friend who was thinking about augmented reality, especially when it comes to trying on clothes,
Yeah.
right? They have these mirrors, these like digital augmented reality mirrors that can help you kind of try on different clothes, and then based on how they fit in this augmented way, right, in the mirror, you can say, all right, I want to buy this, right? I'm thinking about, what if those AI generated characters, right, are now your store workers, quote unquote, in this augmented reality type world, this mixed reality world where you're able to provide top notch service with your, let's say you're on the Amazon store, or your
Mm-hmm.
Instagram store is powered by this. You're able to deliver a top notch service experience for your customer through this AI. I mean, there's so many ways that it can be used, before it gets to the point of, I robot, we need to
Uh-huh.
save humanity. Like, I think that's something that is, of course we need to be cautious about those things, but it's more or less fantasy, right? It's more or less, this is something that we just need to keep a pulse on. It's another reason for you to
Yeah.
just know what's going on, is to keep a pulse on it. But I think, much like 1984, the book, if you've never read it or don't know what I'm talking about, book about surveillance state, it's much more about, us being ahead of what's going on, making sure that we understand, how technologies can be used. And, as we always stress, protect ourselves, make sure we're being a part of instead of, being affected by.
Exactly.
So,
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. And I'm just thinking, like, for those who own businesses, just think about the amount of time and effort and stress you save yourself, especially when you want to create these, parallel digital experiences, whether it's in the metaverse. Like, yeah. Like perhaps you have a clothing store and you make a metaverse equivalent, and now you own these characters from Character GPT, and they're working your store and they can do dope stuff like help not only like advise your customers on like different styles, but like talk about, you know, like measurements, like, oh, you want to make sure you get this kind of measurement for your attire, right? Like it's just so many
Yeah.
possibilities. We're just
Or
barely scratching the surface.
I'm about to say, or we talked about in the metaverse episode, we talked about the concert,
Mm-hmm.
right? The metaverse concert. You know, you can have them at not just one metaverse concert, they can be at all the metaverse concerts all at the same time because they're just generated characters, right?
Man, it's so
It's
crazy. Yesterday I was just playing around in Chat GPT, right? You know, I was asking different questions to see like, can you write Web3 content? Can you code? It can code, it can write articles. I have it write songs too, right?
what
Right. And like
what
Afrobeat song, they wrote an Afrobeat song. They wrote a Drake rap. It was crazy. I was just goofing around at one point. But I'm like, imagine being able to get that kind of like talking about like the metaverse play that Jay gave us, right?
Yep.
Like having somebody, you know, like a chat GPT or whatever platform create like song content, like the lyrics at least. And then you have your character GPT character who is like a musician that you make, right? And they're able to make like fire performances, and you have this concert in the metaverse. And to Jay's point, in the real world with a stadium, you may have a capacity at like 10,000, 20,000, but in the metaverse, there's no capacity. And people are just coming in and like enjoying this musical performance by a character that you created and own because you made it an NFT. Like, man, the different
Crazy.
plays.
Man, that's crazy. It's a whole new world. That's the crazy part is like it's almost like too much opportunity where it's like I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of nervous. I know I shouldn't be because we over here talking about it, but like I'm kind of nervous because it's too much opportunity out here, and it's just like does this getting there way too deep, but does this like widen the gap even further? Like, what do they need a future for? They can create it from a couple lines, putting in a couple sentences, and they have a
Mm-hmm.
whole artist that
I mean,
can
wasn't
work.
wasn't that a rollout? Remember that AI little robot, rapper robot thingy that they was
Yeah,
trying to, you know,
yeah. I was out here.
why should I get respectfully a rapper who, as we know, rappers are at a high risk of mortality, like with street violence and whatnot. Why should we risk ourselves or just even being controversial? Like they say something wild or do something wild and lose sponsorship deals for you as a record label.
Just
Like
being human in general.
just being human, right? Like
Like,
a human who just became worship as a celebrity and gets all these millions of dollars when you can just create your own character GGP, own it as an NFT. You have whatever IP protection rights as the owner of that, and you can just, you know, monetize with your own musical group,
right.
rapper, country, Afro beats, whatever.
Country Afro beats rapper. Who knows? Who
Right.
knows? Possibilities are endless.
Possibilities are endless. So that's why it's very important to watch every episode of Block to Block, because we're having these riveting and fruitful conversations, these dialogues, in order to really prepare us for this new wave of technology, because it's all about the ways in which we can benefit.